Scenery always beautiful in our great state of Colorado. The Pirates and Rockies playing game 2 of a 4-game set. The Pirates won last night 9-3, and the Rockies counter this evening with Chris Russin on the mound. 28-year-old who used to see the Pirates a fair amount when he was wearing a Cubs uniform. That's Josh Harrison. Harrison will lead things off tonight for Clint Hurdle's club. Let's take a look at the rest of Hurdle's lineup. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Gregory Polanco will bat second. Andrew McCutchen naturally in that 3 spot. Then Aramis Ramirez. Starling Marte had 4 hits last night, including a home run. Francisco Cervelli having the best year of his career. He's behind the plate. Michael Morse at first base, the well-traveled one. Jordy Mercer at shortstop will bat 8th, and Jay Happ, who came down a couple months ago from Seattle, and he has done a terrific job in a Pirate uniform. So George Russin on the mound. One thing you know you'll get from Chris, that's a great effort and a guy who will compete.
Well, what I like most is nothing seems to bother him. I mean, he gives up a hit, gives up a home run. Okay, I'll get my ground ball outs, get a strikeout here and there. 77 strikeouts, 116 1/3. The earned run average 511 overall, 474 at Coors Field with a 4.42 record.
Well, last time we saw Chris, there's a base hit on the first pitch of the game. Josh Harrison the other way. Last time we saw Chris, he was gone, showered, and he could have flown to Paris before his game ended. He started that 16-inning affair at Dodger Stadium a week ago tonight. Went 5 hours and 23 minutes before it ended, with the Rockies prevailing in 16.
It does make for a long night when you do that. And that start in L.A. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. If you want to know what he is showing tonight, he'll give you the fastball at 89.5 is what he about averages. The cutter is very prominent in his delivery, and something he uses for out pitches, along with the quick pitch, slider, and a changeup.
Bunt attempt by the very talented Gregory Polanco. That goes foul. Last time we saw Russin at home, it was a gem. He threw a complete game against the San Francisco Giants, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits. Struck out 5, walked only 1. His second complete game of the year at Coors Field. How about that?
Yeah, a lot of damage too with that cutter. You see the difference there in the pitch. You can work both sides of the plate with it. Most complete games by a Rocky and at Coors Field. John Thompson had 3 by home complete ball games, I should say. Thompson had 3, Russin 2, and 2015 there's a bunch of others. Bailey, Stasio, Cook, Hamilton, Jennings.
Well, Harrison got a step and a half off the bag, and Russin came over. Russin, a good fielder. He's got a good move. We know he's a good hitter.
He's a good athlete.
He's a very good athlete. University of Kentucky product. And that is off the end of the bat all over the Pirate dugout. 2-strike count on Polanco. Last couple times the Rockies have faced the Pirates. Watch him take BP and long legs. This is a kid bigger than you think. He's about 6'5", 230 pounds, and he has a good present and a ridiculously bright future.
Reminds me an awful lot of a young Dave Parker when he was wearing a Pirate uniform. Parker was 6'5" and about 235, had a great arm coverage, hit the ball out of the ballpark, drove in runs, and I think Polanco's one of those guys that's going to hit double digits, maybe into the low 20s.
Just turned 24 last week. So he's still a puppy. 0-2, and this is slowly hit the second, and that's all they'll get. Nice job by DJ making sure he got the lead runner on the flip to Adames. That'll bring up Andrew McCutchen. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for the Rockies this evening. Blackman in the middle of Barnes in left and Gonzalez in right. Arenado, Adames at shortstop, as we just mentioned. DJ and Willeen Rosario on the right side with Dustin Garneau. Again, he's switching every day with Tom Murphy. Willeen will catch Jorge De La Rosa. Jorge been pushed back. He was going to go tomorrow, and he's been pushed back a little bit, so Christian Bergman will go tomorrow. Outside, ball one.
McCutchen, we looked it up last night. What is it, 88 walks now in the season for Andrew McCutchen? That really helps you on base percentage. He walked 3 times last night.
He walked 4 times on Sunday against the Dodgers, so 7 in the last 2 ball games. He's been tearing up left-handed pitching really all year, but of late he's 15 for 31 against southpaws.
Pitch recognition is one of his qualities. I mean, over and beyond. There's 5 home runs against left-handers. He's hit 17 against right-handers.
Offensive count here, 2-0 with McCutchen at the plate, and that's in there. Andrew last year hit 280 against lefties, which nothing wrong with that. How about the year before? 388, and in 2012 he hit 392 against lefties. This guy always gets lucky, George, and his stats are always really good.
Is that why he's MVP type guy?
I guess.
Okay.
2-1. And that misses. Home plate umpire tonight's Brian Knight. Vic Carapazza is at first. Ron Copa is at second, and the crew chief Larry Vanover is at third. There's Larry. Polanco has 26 stolen bases, and he draws a throw.
I've noticed a couple of their guys, when they take their lead, they lean hard on that lead leg on the right side. Get the momentum going towards second base. But it doesn't necessarily mean they're always going to go. So they're trying to draw that throw over first base.
And guess what? Andrew McCutchen has walked 8 times in the last 2+ games. That pushes Polanco to second. They're 2 on for Aramis Ramirez. Since 1914, the 7 walks over a 2-game span ties the Pirates record. Actually, Pedro Alvarez had it earlier this year. Or did it earlier this year. The Major League record, Ed Yost in 1955 walked 9 times over 2 games with Washington.
Yeah, veteran teams won't chase balls in the dirt unless they're really behind in the count. You attribute that to Clint Hurdle, Jeff Branson, their hitting coach. They really work the counts on hitters. And you got a veteran guy at the plate right now in Ramirez.
And again, because Ramirez has played so long in the Central, he's seen Russ in 11 times, 4 for 11 against him.
Well, the Pirates, I was going to mention this, the Pirates in 2014 were 23rd in stolen bases, almost 68% of the time success rate. And then Sofield and Nick Leyva switched. It had nothing to do with signs or what was going on. Nick's got a plantar fasciitis, and it's very difficult for Leyva to move around. It makes it very at first base. So as far as being able to get down the line and take care of the runners and do those kind of things, it's difficult for him to do that. So they just traded places.
And third base coaches move quite a bit.
This year, though, they've completed 68.4%, 19th in the big leagues.
Double play candidate, Aramis Ramirez. This is in the air to Cargo and right. And here comes the throw to third, and it's not going to get Polanco.
Adames nicked it.
He did. 2 outs. That'll bring up Starling Marte. Big night for Marte last night. 2 singles, a double, and this.
Yeah, the big home run on the ball down and in. Dropped the head of the bat and sent it all the way to the concourse. Then he came up with a big double in right field. They thought he had his second home run. They reviewed it, hit the top of the wall, and was rewarded with a double. He had a single in the ball game last night also on the season. 284 average, with 18 home runs and 73 RBIs.
Big swing and a miss. Change speeds on him. Marte and Polanco both from Santo Domingo. Told you Polanco just turned 24. He's at third. And Marte is 26. McCutchen at first. That is a really gifted outfield. And it plays well anywhere, but I pointed this out last night, George. It really plays well here because of how vast, as you like to call it, the Ponderosa out there. You really better have 3 center fielders if you're going to cover it well.
Well, you got to have speed.
They do.
And they do. And I tell you the other thing that benefits their outfield and assist and being able to cover ground is they really pitch well to the defense.
This is fought off the knuckles and dropped into right field. It'll score a run. McCutchen at third. In fact, he may get a green light. Now they send him. Here's the throw from Cargo, and McCutchen had already put on the brakes because initially Rick Sofield had him stop and then tried to crank him up again. So it's an RBI double. 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Good pitch by Russ, and he just fought it off. You got a strong guy to play with a big swing. He's going to try to throw the cutter in on his hands, and he got it just a little bit below the label, but enough of it to move it. And then you see McCutchen at first base. He's off to the races with 2 outs. And they had thought at that time, after Polanco scored, McCutchen's coming into third base, and you're going to see Sofield hold him up and then have to put the brakes back on it again. And when that happens, it's very difficult for a speed guy to slam it and come to a stop and then try to get it restarted again, particularly with the arm like Gonzalez in right field.
Here's Francisco Cervelli. This all of a sudden becomes a huge early at bat. Pirates with a run already. Yesterday they got off to the 2-0 start. Cervelli throws out a hit. It'll be 3-0 in a hurry.
Yeah, not good news for the Rockies. The Pirates 56-12 when they score first.
And that's on the inside corner for a strike. Cervelli was 3 for 5 last night. Scored a couple of runs. He has set career highs in virtually every offensive category. Plate appearances, ABs, runs, hits, doubles, triples, homers, RBIs, walks, waves to the fans. Got it all covered this year. Former backup for a long time with the Yankees.
Now they've caught fire the last couple of years. Said that last night with Russell Martin, former Yankee, and then now they've caught it with Cervelli that was a backup.
Is to the right field corner, foul. With the win last night, the Pirates, you look at Cargo, under Clint Hurdle, 40-35 this year on the road. Last year, playoff team, but they were below 500 on the road. 2 years ago, they won 44 games on the road, so there's that possibility still for Pittsburgh. 0-2, and that's wasted. Now the Pirates' magic number entering play tonight is 2. Any combination of Pirates victories and losses by both San Francisco and Washington totaling 2. And Pittsburgh for the 3rd straight year off to the playoffs. I mean, it's basically a fait accompli. It's just whether it happens tonight or tomorrow night. And I'm sure they're pleased to see Baltimore beating Washington 4-1.
Former Rocky Ubaldo Jimenez started for Baltimore in that game tonight.
Kind of had an up and down year. He was really good in the first half. After the All-Star break, not so good. He's thrown some decent ball games out more recently. Ross in with a 1-2 count on Francisco Cervelli. 21st pitch of the inning, inside. way outside on a changeup.
If you're thinking in your mind here and you're Chris Russell, go outside and let the cutter work back to the middle. He's fought off 2 or 3, but you get in a fastball count, 3-2 count, and you run that cutter to the middle in. You got a problem that you might be able to turn on it and yank it down the line. They appear to be going in.
And he gets the strikeout. That's a big one, and they leave 2 in scoring position. They do get a run on the double by Starling Marte. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Denver, great view when it's a little clear of the city, and then the mountains in the background. 1-0 Pittsburgh with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Mark Stout along in a little bit. There's Charlie Blackmon. Chuck Nasty will be first against Jay Happ. This is Southwest batting order for Walt Weiss. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Christian Adames in that 2 spot, then Arenado and Gonzalez. Willie Rosario bat 5th against the lefty. DJ LeMahieu, Dustin Garneau, Brandon Barnes, and Chris Russin. Well, the Pirates have been sensational in the second half, and what a pickup. Jay Happ had really pedestrian numbers in Seattle. He's been lights out with the Pirates.
First start with the Pirates, 4 1/3, 4 earned runs. Think about that. Last 7, 130 earned run average. That's how dominant he's been. Against the Rockies back on the August the 29th in Pittsburgh, 5 2/3, 5 hits, a run. He walked 1, he struck out 2 through 87 pitches over that frame.
The Rockies beat him in Pittsburgh. De La Rosa shutout baseball. So the Rockies prevailed 5-0. First pitch from Jay Happ misses. We have a student from Philadelphia in the booth, George, and I remember when Jay Happ was a prized rookie with the Philadelphia Phillies back when they had things rolling in the NL East, and the Rockies faced him a couple of times in the postseason.
The next Cole Hamels is what he was called.
Yeah, this ball on the ground. That's a good pickup by Aramis Ramirez, and he gets it across to Michael Morse. Look at the contrast, his numbers with Seattle versus with the Bucks.
It didn't work out in Seattle. 4-6, 464 earned run average, 5 2 in 8 starts here with Pittsburgh. An earned run average of 1.96. You can see the strikeouts have even been elevated in the National League to nearly 10 per 9 innings.
So the young shortstop, switch hitter Christian Adames, giving Jose Reyes the night off. Adames had good balance down in Albuquerque. He hit 308 from the right side. He hit 312 from the left side. And he's handled himself nicely in the big leagues. Last year, he had 1 hit when he came up. He didn't have a ton of ABs, but he knows what to expect now. Real calm demeanor. Elevated fastball at 92, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, Adames set the stage for me last winter in the Dominican Republic, winning a batting title. And he played on a team, Australia, if I'm not mistaken, the same team that Cano came back and played for during the playoffs. But separated himself. I'll be real honest about it. I thought in Tulsa, when I watched him there, he got heavy. He's going to chase a ball in the dirt for a strikeout, but I thought he got heavy and had lost some of the mobility, and he went to winter ball, reworked his body, and the range improved, the arm improved, the bat improved, everything about him became a really, really good player.
2 outs, Nolan Arenado coming up. Here's the alignment defensively for the Pirates. They've been below average defensively. A lot of that has to do with Pedro Alvarez's issues at first base. The outfield is Fleet, Marte, McCutchen, Polanco, all plus arms out there. Michael Morse, who's at first. When he came up, and for a while, he was the largest shortstop in captivity. This ball's to deep right, and making the catch out there is Polanco. And it's a quick inning for Jay Happ. The Pirates have a 1-0 lead through 1. Back to Coors Field on a very pleasant Tuesday night right after this. Is brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Man, I love the new Union Station. Did you ever go down there, George, for breakfast?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Dougie and I drive by it every night on the way home, but I love that place. It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Man, oh man.
Michael Moore's going to lead things off for the Pirates, up 1-0, and Moore swings and misses. Michael just recently came over to Pittsburgh. He's been well traveled. Dangerous bat coming off the bench. Spot starter for Pittsburgh, and he's done nicely so far. The 1 home run he has was a grand slam.
You're talking about a big human being. He's ginormous.
Can you believe he was a shortstop?
No.
I was talking.
He is ginormous.
You know, the Rockies have a bunch of their scouts in. And I was talking to Rick Matthews. Rick's been scouting for what, 50 years? He's coached and scouted.
Well, be nice. It hasn't been that long.
Coach forever. Love Rick. He's one of the original Rockies. And talking about, he remembers seeing him when he was in high school as a shortstop, and he came up with Seattle as a shortstop. So remember, they had Olerud at first. They had Beltre at third, in the corner outfield spots. You had Raul Ibanez, and I'm forgetting. Oh, you had Ichiro obviously in the other corner. So there was no place for Michael Morse other than where he'd played the minor leagues. Now a shortstop. So you're talking about, this is a big big guy. I mean, Tulo's a big shortstop.
Right. This guy's a lot bigger.
Yeah,
Tulo.
I mean, he's 2-3 inches taller than Troy, and he's probably 20 pounds heavier.
Well,
he jogs down to first after the walk. Second issue tonight by Russell.
And his role has changed an awful lot. I mean, he's more of a power hitter now. He's more of a guy that just going to play first, going to play left field in certain ballparks.
You like his description. I was chatting with him earlier. His description of, I said, his first, where you prefer playing now? He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, when I'm in the outfield, it's like I'm playing fetch. Jordy Mercer, big night for Mercer yesterday. He wasn't swinging it particularly well coming in, but he departed with his 7th 4-hit game of his career. Against the Rockies, he has hit .388 lifetime. And this could be 2. Maybe not. Thomas had to venture a little bit farther to his glove side than I thought originally. Rockies get Michael Morse. With every challenge call, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Will try to get a bunt down, and he fouls it off. Jay Happ back in 2009 was runner-up in the Rookie of the Year voting to Chris Coghlan. This is so funny how stuff works, George. You ready? I'm going to give you the top 4 players in the Rookie of the Year in 2009. Chris Coghlan was still playing. His best year, though, probably his rookie year. Nolan goes to DJ, so it's 5-4 on the sack bunt. Jay Happ is second. Tommy Hanson, who's battled some injuries.
He's out. He's done.
It's done, right? He was third. You know who was fourth? He's playing in the game tonight.
Huh. Hold on a minute. The right fielder for the Rockies?
No, that's, a great guess.
No, but that's not good. What do you got?
Andrew McCutcheon.
How about that? Things pan out and change a little bit, don't they?
Yeah. There's Andrew. Josh Harrison rifled a single to right on the first pitch of the ball game. Pinch hit and played some defense late last night. Stepped in at third base yesterday. Kind of like Sean Figgins was, George. He can play a lot of spots. All-star last year.
He does a lot of good things, I mean, for your ball club. And I just like the hustle ability when you watch him play, the effort. Seems like every highlight reel he's diving into a bag, diving to make a play.
He's already got the uni dirty. Last year he hit .315, 13 home runs, 52 driven in. He had the thumb injury this year, stealing a bag, and had to have thumb surgery, so he's missed a lot of time. This is down the line, fair ball. And jogging home will be Jordy Mercer with the second Pirate run. Josh Harrison with RBI number 26, 2-0 Pittsburgh.
Talking about his hustle and the way he operates is a good example of this. When he hit the ball down into the corner, Mercer will come around to score. You'll see hit the ball get by Nolan Arenado as he dove for this ball. Just looked like he got a piece of it, but it went right underneath the glove into the outfield. And then what I enjoyed about this part, just as a player, watch how he hustles. He's thinking 3 the whole time. Then I'll just slide stop, pop up, and head back to the bag versus putting the brakes on. You put the brakes on, you may carry yourself another 3 or 4 steps, knowing that your first baseman's trailing you as you're rounding that bag, and they can have the snap throw back.
Polanco, and that's a base hit. And Harrison will cut the bag at third. He'll score. And it's 3-0 Pittsburgh.
They're attacking early here, and they're trying to get after the fastball. They're not letting it get deep into counts. This is a cutter. It just kind of stayed to the middle of the plate. They want to work it on the outer half away from him, try to get him to extend. They left it in. He's able to take it right back up the middle and score the third run of this ball game as Harrison crossed the plate. Well, walked across the plate. Tired. Had to run a little bit.
So a rough beginning for Chris Russin. McCutchen takes ball one. Andrew hasn't seen many pitches to swing at of late. 8 walks in the last 2+ games. And 2-0. This ball tomahawked to deep left. Out there is Brandon Barnes, and that will end the inning. 2 runs on a couple of hits for the Pirates. 3-0. They lead middle of 2.
Pirates. Michael McHenry is good friends with Andrew McCutchen because the Rockies catcher who's injured was formerly on the Pirates. So I asked him to tell me about the Pirates starter.
He's not the J.A. Happ of old. When he first came over to the Pirates, his first start he kind of struggled, you know. He's always been a competitor, but they got a hold of him. Ray Sears, the pitching coach over there, and made some adjustments. And he's using the slider a lot more as an out pitch and a strike pitch. He's using on both sides of the plate. He's always been a guy with incredible angle. And that's what he's always kind of relied on. But now he's utilizing some different pitches that he hasn't used in the past, and he's hiding the ball a lot better than he used to. So he's a tough guy. I mean, obviously he's pitched really well for him this year.
Here's a dribbler out in front of the plate, and they're going to get Cargo to first. So Drew and George, McHenry, who's a catcher, knows that kind of stuff. He went to McCutchen, and McCutchen told him that. And by the way, side note, Michael McHenry told me he got his first big league hit off of Jay Happ. That was back in 2011 when he was with the Pirates, and Happ was with the Astros.
Small world. And there is Michael's really good friend, Andrew McCutchen.
Well, a lot of times, too, you change your uniform. Makes a big difference for you also. You get a change of uniform, you get a change of the way things are going, and it just helps you do a lot of different things better. And when you're in a bad situation, Seattle was a bad situation. There's a lot of things that you assume a lot of that responsibility that people are expecting out of you. You get another uniform, and they say, hey, you're number 4 or 5 here. Just go win.
It's like you get a new start on the season.
Well, I think, too, and this goes back to the analytics thing that they do a lot of in Pittsburgh. Came down, what's the swing and miss pitch for you? Well, analytics say the slider's your best pitch. All right, what are we doing wrong with the slider that is getting hit? So now you start to go to video, you start to look at deliveries. Are you hiding the ball? Are you tipping the pitches? The number of those different things you go through. You know, a lot of guys, that was not good for Brian Knight. Took a shot. But a lot of guys, sometimes they don't raise their leg above the waist on a breaking ball. They get quick on the fastball. So it's not any fun. Subaru Supermo, if you're the umpire, bam, sticks right in the jaw. Not good. Man, they're going to come out here and check him, see if he got cut up a little bit. I don't know, caught him. Got up underneath the jaw area. You know, they're always very conscientious of this with the umpires. They check him out immediately and make sure he's okay to continue behind home plate.
Two and one on the baby bull. And he hits his high and deep to right field. He's got a chance to get out, and it is gone. Opposite field home run for Willeen Rosario. And it's 3-1. Home run number 6 for the baby bull. Strong like bull.
The third home run given up by Happ in a Pirate uniform this year, but Willeen is such a strong young man and had a lot of bat speed, and he caught it right on the sweet spot of a fastball away from him and drives it to right field deep, high and long, and it was gone. That was kind of fun to watch this. Boy, look at that back leg drive, foot come through, knee driving. Why is it home runs are so pretty to watch when they're in white uniforms at Coors Field?
Agreed. Last home run for Willeen was June 23rd.
Well, he was gone for a while.
In Albuquerque.
He was gone for a while.
He was gone a couple of stints down in Albuquerque. One strike on LeMahieu. DJ 0 for 4 last night. 0 for 2 in a walk career-wise against Jay Happ. Strike 3, inside corner. 2 outs, second strikeout for Happ. Dustin Garneau will be next, who wants tacos when the Rockies score 7 in a game. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6, if you'd please, and you'll get your Rockies taco special at Masa Taco Bell. Tigers have one of those bullpen no-hitters going, George, through 8 against the White Sox.
How about the Milwaukee Brewers? They called up 6 guys, 4 pitchers from AA after they got knocked out of the Southern League Championship. All guys that had to be protected. But yesterday was a bullpen day for Milwaukee, and they said, we got to have some help. We got guys dropping like flies up here. Congratulations to a little hometown friend of mine, Adrian Hauser's getting a shot at the big league level. Pitched well, 4-1 with a 1.8 ERA in AA, and he'll be with Milwaukee the rest of the year. Same scout, Jimmy Stevens, signed him, and Dallas Keuchel.
Keuchel real good last night.
Yeah, 18 wins now. ERA still in the 2.5s.
They're game and a half back. They're leading the Angels tonight in the 4th inning, 2-0.
Is that Colin McHugh?
I was going to say, is that McHugh tonight?
Might be. 43. Got to look at it and see.
1-2 on Garneau. 2-2. Of course, they need help. They need Texas to lose. The Rangers a little later on in Oakland.
See where they're going to have the start on Saturday. Barry Zito versus Tim Hudson. Flashing back to 15 years.
And everybody with an ARP card gets in free.
Stop. It's not that bad. I think Zito's only 38.
2-2. And a foul tip is held. So Garneau strikes out in the inning. Willeen Rosario hits one over that auxiliary scoreboard in right to get the Rockies on the scoreboard. It is 3-1 Pittsburgh as we go to the 3rd. And Starling Marte and Francisco Cervelli against Chris Russin. Drew Goodman upstairs. We kicked Frazier out because he doesn't know a thing about hockey. So we welcome Jim Montgomery, of course, head coach of the DU Pioneers since 2013. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful night for a ball game.
It is a perfect night for a ball game, and I know you guys have just gotten back on the ice over at DU. Things look good, pretty good, I imagine.
Really good. I think we got a real exciting team. We're fast this year. We got a lot of talent. We're young though, and there's going to be some learning curves throughout the year. But by the end of the year, I'm really excited about our prospects.
Did you feel like you overachieved a little bit last year, or that's kind of where you thought? I mean, you made a nice little run at the end.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I thought that team last year was really hard to play against. And I think if our team this year can be as hard to play against, we're probably even going to be better because I think we have more upside as far as natural talent.
And between the pipes, we go Friday, Saturday. How will that work out this year?
Yeah, I envision it going Friday, Saturday like we did last year. You know, the two of them really push each other hard, our goaltenders. And with a year of experience under their belt, they're going to be really good this year as college goaltenders.
Good deal. I'm really excited. I was just telling you during the commercial break, my middle son, Zach's a huge hockey fan. You guys are going to play right out there against CC. I couldn't think of anything more fitting that sets up the whole stadium series with the Avs taking on Detroit.
It really does. It adds to the great tradition of the rivalry, and I think being able to do it in a special venue like Coors Field is only going to make it a great event.
Yeah, and then The battle on Blake, the DU and CC on February 20th, and tickets start at $10. Are you at all surprised with the success that the league has had, in particular the NHL, of playing at these outdoor venues?
You know what? I've been really surprised at the success they've had since they went to the Stadium Series. I thought when it was just the one stadium a year event,
right.
It was kind of like a Super Bowl type event. And now that they've gone more to like a college football Saturday where they have all these, they have 4 a year. But it's incredible how excited fans are. And I think I saw yesterday at the press conference that the millionth fan to come to an outdoor NHL event is going to be here at Coors Field this year.
Yeah, that's why it's really remarkable. It has become, just like you said, Coach, it's an event as opposed to, well, it's another game or it's passe now. We've seen the games outside. Personally, because I don't have to play, obviously, I hope it snows because I thought it was pretty cool when it snowed. You as a coach probably feel otherwise, though, right?
Well, it affects the quality of the ice, but actually the backdrop of the snow falling, I mean, I think that's what hockey's all about.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, is there a kid who plays hockey that didn't grow up playing on a pond?
Well, there is a lot now.
Yeah.
But when you're my age, Drew, no, most of us played a lot outside.
Especially in the north. But now you can recruit in the south. I mean, Southern California's turning out some kids, and I mean, Jeff Houston's son plays at UConn, and they have a game. I think they open at Alabama Huntsville, which has had a program. It's gotten a lot of attention through the years. So the game is played. Yeah, those kids probably don't play on ponds.
No, they don't. But they got great facilities all over the place, and I attribute all that to Wayne Gretzky getting traded to LA Kings. The NHL grew by 10 teams after Gretzky got traded. And now at DU, we're going on number 12 year of number 9 being a kid from California. 12 years in a row,
that's
number 9.
Else. And because of DU's hockey tradition, you recruit all over North America, don't you?
We do, but we primarily stick to Chicago and go west to LA and north-south, and we primarily in Canada stick to Alberta and British Columbia.
Okay. And we've got you. I mean, we've been with you guys for a number of years. We have you 6 more times this year on Root Sports, which we're always really excited about. We'll throw the schedule up now. We have you against CC, St. Cloud, Notre Dame, Duluth, North Dakota, Michigan State. It's a good schedule.
We got a great schedule out of conference this year, and in conference we play in the best conference in the country. So it's not going to be an easy schedule, but that's what allows us strength of schedule to get into that NCAA tournament with success.
I haven't looked at the roster recently, and I know this was not the case going back 10 or 12 or 15 years ago, but there are more Colorado kids, speaking of where you recruit, than ever before. I mean, and I attribute, you say you attribute it to Wayne Gretzky. I attribute it to the Avalanche's arrival and their great success winning a couple of cups, where so many more kids are playing hockey in our state.
100%. I mean, we have 8 Coloradans on our team, and they're all very, very talented hockey players, and they all help us win every night. Yeah, I mean, when you got people like Joe Sakic and Adam Foote coaching the youth around here, and then I got to throw a plug for Angelo Ricci. He's done an incredible job with Colorado Thunderbirds here. He was a great DU alum.
Yeah, Angelo is. I kind of refer to him as Mr. Hockey again. He really was one of the first, and Angelo's done a marvelous job. He's got a close relationship with a lot of Rockies. Eric Young Jr. is very close with Angelo. When he first came up, he lived with Angelo.
That's right, and the center fielder's having a great year in Chicago.
Yeah, Dexter.
Dexter, Fowler. I mean, the two of them are really tight.
So Cervelli ends up at second. A balk was called. It's not a stolen base. A balk was called. Michael Morse with a big swing. You have baseball background at all?
I actually led my little league in average, and then the next year we went to Babe Ruth, and I was so small, like my line drives are being rated to shortstop now, so I had to retire.
Flipped over to the rink, huh?
I was a huge Expos fan growing up. I mean, I can name every position from about 76 through 90.
Hey, they were, as you know, especially in the early 90s, they were loaded, and their AAA affiliate at the time, the Denver Bears, they had some of the great Expos come through Denver and then, blossom in Montreal.
Yeah, I mean, they had that outfield one year of Grissom, Moises Alou, and in right field was Larry Walker. Larry Walker signed with the Rockies, and in came Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah.
They were stacked.
This is Luke to center field, a base hit. Cervelli's going to score, and it's 4-1 as Michael Morse has his 5th RBI in a Pittsburgh Pirate uniform. Now, Michael Morse, a big, strong man, and he got sawed off. It's the old good pitch, bad result. You believe, Jim, you believe this guy was a shortstop when he first came up? He's 6'5", 230.
Well, what I couldn't believe, I hadn't been to a ball game in about 5 years until I came to about 5 of the Rockies games last summer. And the average size, I mean, you know, you got shortstops and second baseman coming up at 6'4", 220.
Yeah.
I mean, when I remember going to watch Chris Spire play shortstop, yeah, you're
dating yourself a little bit,
yeah,
right?
I know. You know, second baseman was Delino DeShields, you know.
That's right.
Grzelcyk, they were all tiny players.
Yeah, it hit. I mean, well, you know this from your sport. I mean, when you walk in, we covered the Avs for so long. We've been with you guys for 15 years. You walk in an NHL locker room, you walk in a major league clubhouse. I'm telling you what, it doesn't look altogether different from an NFL locker room. You're talking about big, strong, athletic. You know, guys who've been in the weight room for years, and the training and what we've learned the last 20 years in terms of training, it's different. I mean, the hockey players that you guys are coaching at the collegiate level, they look different than they did 15 years ago, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing the specialization in every sport, and you know, there's the general Olympic lifts, but the specific lifts that allow them to excel in their individual sports is incredible.
Yeah, and the explosive stuff that you're doing now in the weight room. 3-0 on Jordy Mercer, and that's in there 3-1. Give me a breakdown of your conference and who you believe it potentially comes down to.
Yeah, well, Minnesota Duluth returns everyone from a team that was, you know, went to the Final 8 last year. So they're definitely the team to beat, I think, in our conference. And then I think North Dakota and Denver would be the next teams in line, I think, for everyone, I think, would presume. You know, for us at Denver, we return Dan Heinen and Trevor Moore, 2 leading returning scorers in the conference. So I think people expect them to carry the load a lot.
So you feel like this team's going to fly up and down the ice a little bit, huh?
I think we're going to be up to get up and go. I mean, we lost some, you know, really, really good defensemen, Legia and Didier, but we returned such a great quality D-core that we're still going to be able to break out and play fast.
And Magnus Arena is a great setting to watch a hockey game.
It is. I mean, we got great fans, and you know, with the addition of what the school has done, investing money in the new scoreboard and the lights, it really makes the whole venue just jump.
There's always been a connection, Jim, as you know, between hockey, for hockey players, hockey and lacrosse. It's kind of like the spring sport that a lot of hockey players play, especially Canadian kids. How much has the success of the DU lacrosse program, and you guys have a long-standing tradition, obviously, in hockey, but has that helped even a little bit more?
Well, it does, because like when we recruit in Western Canada, in British Columbia, it's huge there. So all the parents are like, hey, you guys got a great lacrosse team too, and so it's an easy segue to talking about lacrosse. And our players, you know, it's been a tradition for about 15 years. The hockey players and lacrosse players, especially Canadians, they get along famously, and they have like tournaments at the end of the year where they do box lacrosse and backyard tournaments.
Jay Happ is gone. That ends the inning. A run for the Pirates. They've scored in every inning, 4-1. Jim, we wish you all the luck in the world with DU. We'll have you plenty of times on the tube this year. We look forward to it, and have fun when you guys are skating out here.
Drew, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Jim Montgomery, of course, head coach of the DU Pioneers.
third in this inning for the Rockies. And last night, Charlie, and you probably know, got his 40th stolen base on the year. He also got his 100th hit at Coors Field. He joined another exclusive club, 100 hits and 20 steals at home. He's the third Rockies player to do that. EY did it in '96. Juan Pierre did it as well. And so did Charlie. Now, only one other team since the Rockies came into play in 1993 has had 3 players do that. That's the Dodgers with Brett Butler, Rafael Furcal, and also Juan Pierre. Pierre, believe it or not, guys, and I know you believe it because that's the kind of player he is. He's done it for 3 teams in his career, also with the Marlins. And since the Rockies came into existence, Ichiro 6 times with Seattle. But it's only happened 27 times since 1993. So congrats to Charlie on that.
Yeah, you know, Mark, you're right on the money on this. There's a base hit for Brandon Barnes to lead things off in the 3rd inning with the Rockies trailing 4-1. Frazier and I were talking about this last night. 40 in the 70s when George was first breaking in the big leagues. He broke in with the Cardinals. There were a lot of guys who could steal 40 on that club with the Colemans and the Smiths and the McGees. Now 40's an enormous number.
It's a big number because the game, like the pitching, power arms, it's all gone to power bats, and I think you still kind of have to have that mix for teams to be successful. When you look at the Pirates, with 3 different guys with 20 or more stolen bases, a bunch of guys with 10 to 15 stolen bases. It's kind of a happy mix for everything.
Hey, George, with Charlie, too, doesn't he kind of fit Coors Field, and Coors Field fits him for what he does, his skill set?
Well, I think he takes advantage of the gaps. I think he takes advantage of running the bases because your defense sets a little bit deeper. The infield's very quick, so that helps a lot. But I think he's a great student of the game. I think he's a great student of starting pitchers, guys coming out of the pen, and he realizes that his speed is such a huge asset. And I don't think fans really recognize of how big Coors Field is in the outfield and the gaps, and it was built that way for a purpose.
You know, Walt mentions too, we forget that he was a pitcher in college at Georgia Tech and then switched to playing the outfield and hitting.
Yeah, he sure did. He did it during the summer between his junior and sophomore and junior year.
He's an athlete, and he really works hard at the craft of studying the opposing pitcher's moves, times to the plate. It's not just sheer speed. Charlie in the offseason has worked with track coach and working on his starts. Chris Russin's behind 1 and 2.
You know, Scott Pasetnik, who was a terrific base stealer, great speed, was a track guy. He has a school in the Dallas metro area that he works on with kids about improving their speed into 60 because that's so prominent whenever you're being into a lot of these showcases. And a lot of his work is about the form of running, of how you can improve your times. 0.3 of a second, different things that change you from a 7-1 to a 6-8 runner. And he's had a lot of success with a lot of kids in that Dallas area.
Two on Russin. Runner going, and it swung on and missed. Underneath the tag is Barnes, so he swipes second.
4 stolen base for Brandon on the year. Now Cervantes sees the hard slider, swing and a miss strike, and then the throw's high. That's what allowed Brandon to get in. If the throw's on the money, it's probably going to be a much closer play. Brandon gave one look back and then well ahead of it, kept the foot on the bag. 98 stolen bases. That's not all on Cervelli.
No, not at all. It's a combination. Pitcher's got to hold the runner. Blackman with the runner at second base. Charlie takes inside ball 1. Charlie hit a ground ball to third in the first inning. Rockies final homestand of the year, a 10-gamer. They're 2-2 thus far. Won the first 2 against the Padres, lost on Sunday, and then lost last night 9-3. Slice to left. It is foul.
fastballs in a row, one on the hands and one away. Slider has always been a pretty good pitch for Haps if he goes to that against Charlie here.
Charlie fouls that one off.
Yeah, went underneath the hands with a 92-mile-an-hour cutter.
Second round pick of the Rockies in 2008 out of Georgia Tech. In the dirt, 2-2. Christian Adames waiting his turn. Rockies trailing 4-1. And that ball's going to drop into left center field, and here comes the Rockies' second run as Barnes scores. And it's RBI number 55 for Charlie Blackmon. That's a bunch of ribbies for a guy hitting in the top spot of a lineup every night.
How big is the stolen base now that Brandon Barnes able to pull off, get into scoring position? Charlie comes up with a 2-strike base hit and 1 out to drive in the run. He just fought off a really good fastball and it cut right at the last second. Charlie able to swing. It was elevated, was not down in the zone, and Charlie made him pay for it.
Got to bring up Adames. And Charlie working on his next 40. Draw a throw. You know, when people talk about Coors Field being a great offensive park, which it is, here's the list of guys. Get to that thought in a moment. List of the guys with 40+ stolen bases. Willie Tavares set the club record in 08 with 68. EY a couple times, Juan Pierre a couple times, and then Charlie Blackmon. That's it. When people talk about this being a great offensive park, and clearly it is a phenomenal offensive park, one of the reasons is how large the outfield is. That ball by Charlie off the label basically, and it floated in the air to left center field, but because it's so vast, it drops where in a lot of ballparks it may have been caught. And that's what the Rockies have to get back to, George. Dominating at home.
Well, you got to win on your own ballpark. There's no question about it. You got to be able to hit well here, pitch well here. And every time the Rockies have had winning seasons or gone to the postseason, they've won at home. 50 or more wins, I think, is kind of the...
Got to be a minimum, right?
Right. 50's got to be the number.
So here's Nolan. Tough night last night. Arenado was 0 for 5 and struck out 4 times for the first time in his career. He hit a fly ball to right field his first time. And fastball misses. Runner going, and Blackmon has his 41st.
Just ate the baseball with a left-hander on the mound. That's where the studying of the tapes. How many looks? Was there 2 outs? How many times do they throw over? How many times do they not?
Third in the league. Talking about top flight center fielders. There's a base hit, and it's going to pay off. The Rockies will get their 3rd run. Nolan Arenado, RBI number 115. You want to talk about creating a run. Blackman drives one in, steals a bag with 2 outs, and Nolan brings him around.
Yeah, it seems like that's the theme of the inning. Barnes with the base hit, stolen base hit, run scores. Charlie the base hit, stolen base hit by Nolan, and a run scores. 3 base hits, 3 singles, 2 runs. Nolan really kept his head. Look at this. There's no pull off of this baseball whatsoever. As Nolan takes it out into center field. You've seen a lot of pitchers make good pitches, and Nolan hurt him, and he hurts Happ here.
Arenado at first base, 2 outs, and here's Cargo. A little squibber out in front of the plate his first time. 2 for 7 lifetime against Jay Happ. Inside, ball 1. Arenado has 228 RBIs now in a Rockies uniform, just passed his first base coach, UI Senior, for 16th on the all-time Rockies list. He's going to pass a lot of people before he's done.
Carlos Gonzalez has hit 4th in 54 ball games this year. Those numbers jump out at you. 322 average, 18 home runs, and 43 RBIs when hitting 4th in the Rockies lineup.
He's an RBI machine. Got that reputation in the minor leagues, most notably in the Cal League when he drove in a minor league best 120 runs when he was in the Cal League. Coach had popped at 20 home runs that year.
Not an easy league to hit 20 home runs in. Another guy that's a pretty good player too, Paul Goldschmidt, was in the league that year.
2-0. Cargo smokes it right at Mercer, who came up with it somehow. Ball was lathered. Rockies come up with a couple of runs. They tighten things up. It's 4-3 Pirates as we go to the 4th. From Holyoke, Colorado. Thanks for watching the Rockies on Root Sports. Be sure to tell us where you're watching from on Twitter at @RootSports_RM. Use the hashtag #WhereWeRoot. Not too far from the Nebraska border.
22 miles.
Is that right? That's not too far.
No, it's not. No. Hop, skip, and a jump.
Josh Harrison in the 4th inning for the Pirates. Gregory Polanco, Andrew McCutcheon to follow. Rockies within a run after stealing their way to a couple of markers in the last frame. Josh Harrison, a single and a double and a run batted in tonight. This kid was a really good player at the University of Cincinnati. Drafted by Pirates in the 4th round. Career average of .358, 4th all time for the Bearcats. I told the story before, George. They have a great stadium. It's sandwiched right in the middle of campus. And if you hit it out to right, you hit a building. If you hit it out to center, you hit the statue of Oscar Robertson, the Big O. You know who went to the University of Cincinnati for a brief time, George, to play basketball?
Who?
One of the all-time great pitchers in the history of the game.
Who? Sandy Koufax. Really?
Yeah, went there to play basketball. Uh-oh. High fly ball left field. Hopefully Barnes has a play. He will.
Got a little wind right now, kicking things down. I think that's the key to it.
So a long out to left, and Polanco will come up. Rockies fans, join in on the conversation. We invite you every night. Send us your thoughts and photos, comments. Use Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Make sure you include the hashtag Toyota Talk. Polanco reached on a fielder's choice, an RBI single in the 2nd. Gregory from Santo Domingo. Pirates on the cusp of making the playoffs for the 3rd straight year, and their magic number's 2. And when they accomplish that, and it's a foregone conclusion naturally, it'll be the first time since those Leland years, 90, 91, 92, that they made it 3 straight years. Baltimore continues to lead Washington. They're in the 9th inning there. Russon's walked 3, and he's behind 3-0. That's walk number 4. That's not like Chris. Let's take a look at some more notes on the Pirates this year. The other time that they've made the playoffs 3 straight years was the early 70s. They had a major league record 20 straight losing seasons prior to 2013.
Well, part of the deal with Clint is, yeah, we've made the playoffs the last 3 years, but we want to go a little farther. We don't want a wild card. We like to win the division. We like to win it and get to the World Series. That's our goal. That's what the expectations are. And when he got there a few years ago, the expectations were just try to win more games than we lose. And now those expectations, after winning and getting to the playoffs, naturally they're going to go a little bit higher with each year, with the improvement of the ball club each year.
Well, it's coincided with the renaissance for the city of Pittsburgh, doing much better economically.
Oh, no question.
The ballpark is a thing of beauty, and now to see it filled up most nights, that whole area busy right on the Allegheny, great commerce. Up and in on McCutchen, 1-1. McCutchen became the first Pirate MVP 2 years ago, since Barry Bonds captured a couple in the early 90s, 92, and then also 1990. Then you go back to George's old friend, the late great Willie Stargell in '79, the last championship as well for the Pirates. Carr going right.
Have you planned a holiday party yet? Well, there's a lot of unique indoor spaces available here at Coors Field in the show-capped mountains. It's a wonderful, wonderful place to come celebrate the season. For more information, please call 303-ROCKIES and set your party here at Coors Field. Going to have a hockey party here pretty soon, huh?
They're going to have quite a hockey party.
It's going to be fun, isn't it?
DU and CC. Then the alumni game. You know, they're getting all those guys out from the late 90s, when what was the greatest rivalry for about a 6-year period in all of sports, the Avalanche and Red Wings. Chris Draper was here. He's an executive now with the Red Wings. He was here representing Detroit in that press conference. Of course, Joe Sakic was here, and Patrick Waugh yesterday. They're all going to suit up again. Yes, Claude Lemieux is supposed to be here. Yes, I hope that they've buried the hatchet, so to speak.
It'll be a real slow-moving game.
It won't be as quick as it used to be.
It's going to be like the 3-on-3 I like to play. I'll play offense. You other three go play defense.
Yeah. But that'll be a lot of fun. And then, of course, the Stadium Series continues the next day with the Avs and Red Wings, the current players. Guys will move really quick. 1-1 on Ramirez. Twice he's hit it in the air to Cargo. And now he hits it in the air to Blackman. Charlie going back, still going back, leaps, he can't get it. It's off the top of the wall. And Gregory Polanco cruises home. On his way to third is Ramirez. He's a little like we kid Justin Moore. No, he's laughing because he doesn't get a lot of those. That's numero uno.
For this year, first triple for Ramirez. Wow.
He was grinning ear to ear when he slid in.
Yes, he was.
He's facing his teammates in the dugout. They knew he was out of gas.
And Charlie gave it a great effort, tried to get all the way to the base of the wall, then looks to find the baseball. He thought it hit it right off the end of the glove and gone down, missed by about a foot. Chris Rutzen after the pitch. Subaru Supremo thought it was going to be caught. It was not. The walk come back to haunt you one more time. Now to go ahead and complete shutting down this inning. It's 5-3 Pirates now.
They have scored in every inning. 1-2, 1-1.
Just keep it to 1 this inning.
Marte. It's at ball 1. It's 1-1 on Starling. He's at 18 home runs. It's fouled off. Driven in 73. The 18 home runs, a career high. Last time they had a left fielder hit more than the 18. Jason Bay. It's a name we haven't mentioned in a while. 2008.
Went on to Boston. After Boston, that didn't work out quite so well. Tried it for a couple of years with the Mets. Didn't happen there, and happily retired and walked away, and it was a shame.
Yeah, he went from, I mean, he really,
dominant right-handed hitter in big leagues.
And he could run, he could play left field, and it just dropped off pretty quickly. That is fair. It hit the bag. Wouldn't you know it? I thought Nolan made the right decision because he wasn't going to have a play on Marte. Runs too well. He let it go. And it stayed fair, hit the bag. It's an infield single and a run batted in for Marte, and it's 6-3.
Tough break in the ball game, too. You want to prevent that other run coming in and make it a 6-3 ball game. Nolan made the right choice. Just let it go. It's spinning. You think it's going to spin out and just caught the corner of the third base back. Pirates now 5 for 8 in this ball game with runners in scoring position.
Man. Got a guy who can run at first base. So Jason Bay, George, in 04 he had 26 homers, 32 and 101 in 05, 06 35 and 109, 21 and 84 the next year. Then between Pittsburgh and Boston the following year, 31 and 101. You're talking about one of the best run producers, one of the best power guys in baseball. And
Wasn't there an injury in there,
30, I don't know, 2009, 36 and 119 with Boston.
Wow.
And then he goes to the Mets. He was hurt. 6 home runs, 47. The next year, 12 and 57, 8 and 20. Seattle, 11 and 20. And he was out of the game. Stolen base, Marte. I'm sure injuries played a factor.
28 stolen bases now for Marte.
Nothing to be embarrassed about, though. He had a career average of 266 with 222 homers and 754 RBIs. That's a pretty good career.
It was a very good career. Big jump on this side. You know, they already had one pickoff that didn't happen. This throws low from Garneau, but a huge jump by Starling Marte to get into scoring position.
And Cervelli misses the 2-0. It's 2-1.
Try to think back on this. Yes, you know, there's been a couple of balls hit hard, but there's also been some balls that have not been hit hard. Grounded to third, ground ball up the middle, the ball that Morse fought off to drive into center field to drive in a run. 8 hits, 6 runs so far.
2-2 on Cervelli. Marte takes off for third, and it's rifled foul. Doug, you just handed me the notes on all the injuries for Bay. Starting in 2010, he had a bad concussion, broken rib in 2011, broken rib in 2012, and then a concussion again in 2000. Later on in 2012, I'd forgotten about that. He did have those concussion issues. 3-2.
91 pitches with 4 2/3 innings thrown. 3 2/3 innings thrown. It's 5th in the lineup. I would think he'd be done after this inning.
Hard to Nolan. And go across the diamond. It's only option. In the inning, 2 more runs for Pittsburgh. A 6-3 lead. It's been a tough night for Chris Russell. He's not been able to keep Pittsburgh off the board in any inning. 6 runs, 8 hits for the Pirates. Willeen Rosario has a solo home run for the Rockies. Nolan Arenado, another RBI. He's got 115. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout. Rosario is going to lead it off here in the 4th against Jay Happ.
Well, Willeen made him pay with a big home run to right field. Willeen has done that against left-handers in his career. 314 average this year, 240 average versus left-handers. Now go back to that 2nd inning. He got a cutter up away from him, drove it out to right field, right down the right field line, and about 20 feet inside the foul pole for his home run. It was his 6th of the year, 27th RBI of the year for Willeen.
And sharply hit to the right side. Another base hit. He stayed away and he hit it away. 5th hit for the Rockies. DJ LeMahieu caught looking on an inside fastball will come up.
Quite a contrast. Chris Russell at 94 pitches through 4 innings, 44 pitches now for Happ. See, that's not fair. They used A.J. Burnett last night and J.A. Happ tonight. I want to call him A.J. Happ.
You can.
Well, I know, but I'm not going to. Germain's warming up down in the bullpen for the Rockies with Chris Russell due up 5th, down 3.
DJ drives this one foul. DJ born in Visalia, California, but moved around a little bit growing up. Spent time in Madison, Wisconsin, briefly in Las Vegas. Also Bloomfield Hills, Michigan.
Here's a little trivia question for you. Which high A team plays in Visalia? Affiliated to what major league team?
Base hit. There's a base hit. And Rosario stops at 2nd.
It's the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Bring up Dustin Garneau. Garneau, a 19th round selection in 2009 out of Cal State Fullerton. Side on Garneau. Garneau's thrown out a couple home runs. Tom Murphy's thrown out a couple of home runs. They've only been up here briefly. Nick Hundley had his best offensive season before having to be shut down with the neck ailment. Mike McHenry hit some home runs. So you add them all up, the Rockies, from an RBI standpoint, driven in 72 with their catchers, which is 5th best in the National League. The Giants #1 actually with Buster Posey. They have 84. The Rockies, in particular Renee Latchman, who works at the major league level with the catchers, really excited about Murphy and Garneau.
Along with Mark Strittmatter, the catching coordinator at the minor league level.
Yep, Stritty does a great job. Two and two.
Everybody packed up today and headed down to instructional leagues. So a lot of those bright-eyed young Rockies will get a taste of Salt River Field for the first time. And the #1 complex in all of baseball. Spent about 3 weeks there.
Two is hit to Polanco in right. Tagging's Rosario. He'll move up 90 feet. Brandon Barnes.
Yeah, Kyle Parker has stepped out into the on-deck circle, which I kind of figured he would do that, even though you have Rosario and other people that you could rotate your catchers around. Trying to use Murphy late in the ball game, but Kyle Parker, his name has been called off the score sheet by Walt Weiss.
Barnes a single to left last inning. Takes low, ball one. Called strike on Brandon. Thought that was low, understandably so. Good fastball.
Tell by the sound of the glove. 95 with that fastball.
Still got a good arm.
Boy, Seattle all over Kansas City tonight, 11-0. Angels are now overtaking the Houston Astros 3-2.
In the seventh there.
They try to ride a fastball up and away from Barnes, get him a chase. They're giving a high target, wanting it on the inner half, and they swung through it.
Tough at bat for Barnes. He goes down. That's the second out.
Last
5 strikeouts for J. Happ.
The last bike to the park is coming up this Sunday, so get more information at Rockies.com/green to be a part of all of that. I don't know how Charlie holds the camera and does all that. There's that crash. Kyle Parker's 1 for 9 as a pinch hitter this year. As we all know an awful lot about the power. Parker's hit 163 overall with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs.
Kyle Parker. Speaking of the power, he's the only player in NCAA history to throw 20 touchdown passes and hit 20 home runs in the same academic season. Not too many guys can play football at the major college level and baseball. 2 other guys who've come close. Josh Fields, George, you knew Josh, Oklahoma State, 2003, 2004. He had more than 10 home runs, threw over 20 touchdown passes. Did some of Fields' games in college on the football field. Rodney Peete. And this is fouled off, 1-1. Rodney Peete was a big 2-way star at Southern Cal. Gonzalez Germain under the watchful eye of Darren Holmes. One on Parker. 2-1. Inside 3-1 on Kyle. Three and two. Through that fastball at 95. The Rockies had runners at first and third, nobody out, and they do not score.
Story from Mike. I know you got the full gear. You even got the stirrups on, but you're not from Pittsburgh. You sort of are, but you're not.
My dad grew up in Pittsburgh, PA.
Yeah.
I'm a diehard Pirate fan. So I got pictures when I was a kid with Willie Stargell, Dave Parker, Kent Colby, everybody.
This is perfect because we are celebrating George Frazier this Friday because George is retiring after 19 years with the Rockies and sports. George got his second win ever in his first trip to Three River Stadium in 1979 over the Pirates. So
I might have been there.
You might have been there.
I might have been there.
So we want everybody to watch the Root Sports pregame show and that day to celebrate George. So thanks for wearing your Roberto Clemente uni.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, George, for all the years you put in here.
Excellent.
And let's go Bucks.
George, did you know that? Your second win ever at Three Rivers?
No, I didn't. Thanks for telling me. I like the uni, though. Brings back memories.
Yeah, the uni brings back memories, you know?
Thank you. Thank you.
Mark,
George, love you. Let's go Bucks.
All right, I got that part figured out.
We figured that out.
Yeah.
We got it.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, yes, true.
Did you ask him why he didn't have spikes on?
Yeah. I think it's time for me to step away.
Yeah, you're in a bad territory.
And Drew, George, you did a good job in that game. By the way, Madlock and Stenick got you. They had a pretty good lineup, remember?
Yes, they did. They had a great. What are you kidding me? Do I remember?
They won the World Series.
Yeah.
So
Rennie Stennett.
And it was like we were playing on cement too. I mean, that AstroTurf, that was the old fields that flipped, football, basketball, or football, baseball. And man, you talk about miserable. There was holes in the outfield where there was actually cement showing through, where they'd roll the bleachers in and try to play on that stuff. And it was carpet. They called it carpet. It was carpet.
George, you ready for Friday?
I really am. My family's coming in.
Yeah,
my family's coming in, and I'm looking very forward to it. It was very gracious of the Rockies and Root Sports to do that. I kind of wanted to get on the tractor and just ride off into the sunset.
It's going to be a fun night.
Yeah.
Do you know how to drive that thing yet?
Yeah,
by the way?
I do. Yeah, I got to do zero turn. Look out. I raced the other guy in the neighborhood down the street. It's pretty good. You know what? It's a quick story. And I want to bore people with a bunch of stuff on Willie Stargell. But he always wore big cowboy hats, and he's, born in Oklahoma and stuff. So I went over to their locker room one day when they were taking batting practice. And I went and stole his cowboy hat because the locker rooms were close in the old ballpark.
So we
switch batting practice, right? You're switching. Pirates coming in. We're going out with the Cardinals. And I got the cowboy hat on. I said, Willie, thanks for the hat. And I just went out and stood in right field, right? Shagging, got the cowboy hat on. About 10 minutes later, out there in the bullpen, out of the visiting bullpen, here comes Stargell with a machete. Says, give me my hat. I gave the hat back 2 weeks later, and I still have the hat at home. Made by Charlie One Horse out of Houston, Texas. He sent me a felt hat. It's a tan like that. It has a rattlesnake head in the middle of it. I still have it at home, and he sent me a straw cap also. So I have both those caps in the closet at the house. Kind of mementos and presents from Willie with a letter from him.
That's pretty special, right?
It was. It was special.
Jordy Mercer, speaking of Oklahoma kids. Jordy Mercer's from the state of Oklahoma. Oh, 0-1 from Germain. That's inside.
Yeah, it was funny. That locker room was something else in Pittsburgh, man. That family deal was all in. They were very well received in Pittsburgh on the road. They had a lot of fans. Ground ball was short, and Donaldson flip it on the first, second out of the inning. One of the other Pirate stories, Drew, was I wore 39. Parker wore 39. And he had a big ring that said Cobra and Rubies and Diamonds. So we're in Montreal, and I reach in the back of the box. I'm like, what is that? It feels like a lug nut back there. I pull it out, and it's his ring. So I called him, called the locker room where they were, and I said, I got your Cobra ring. He said, I just stick it in the mail. I said, you kidding me? It's like $10,000 ring. Oh, I know, it'll get here. I said, no, I'll give it to you in St. Louis next week when you guys come to town. So we met behind home plate, and I said, here's your ring, but you got to strike out with anybody on base, and I come in the game, or I'm keeping the ring. He goes, all right, deal. Give him the ring. Sure enough, that night I come in, first and second, 2 outs. Parker, we're getting beat like 20-0. I look at him and I go, remember, don't you? I go back to the mound. He swung through 3 and he threw the bat down. He goes, we're even, won't happen again. Yelled at me on the mound.
Jay Happ with a 2-0 count.
All those things, fans wonder what players do. Well, that's when they used to have the old lock boxes. You know, you'd lock everything up in the lock.
That ring would fit on your wrist.
Around my ankle, actually.
Yeah. So Gonzalez, Germain in relief of Russin, who goes 4 innings, gives up 6 runs on 8 hits, walked 4. That's a strike. So we're talking about Jordy Mercer. He's from Oklahoma, went to Oklahoma State. He's from, what is it, Tologa? Is that how you pronounce that, George?
You're good, yeah.
Tologa, Oklahoma. Now, he's a bright kid. He's in the top 10 in his graduating class.
Well, there's only 4.
There were 7.
Yeah. I knew there wasn't many.
That's a farming community. One of 7 kids in his senior class. Here he is in the big leagues. 6-3 Pirates. Brought to you by the Ford Escape. Smart, safe, and fun to drive. Ford Escape. Go further. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Pirates 6 and the Rockies 3. Rockies at the bottom of the 5th, will at the top of the order against J. Happ, Blackman, Adames, Arenado. J. Happ has allowed 6 hits in the ball game. Trying to improve to 6-2. This is coming from Seattle to Pittsburgh. Well, the Rockies in the 3rd inning came up with 2 of their 3 runs. They did it running the bases well. Barnes a single and a stolen base, and then Charlie brought him in, and then Charlie promptly stole second. And then a moment later, Nolan doing what he does best, drive people in, brought Blackman around. Timely hits us, good base run. 41 stolen bases for Blackman. Got 16 home runs in that leadoff spot this year. It's not a club record, though. He has the club record. 19 last year. Some people may forget that, Cargo in 2009 hit leadoff for the Rockies. And then, for me, his big coming out party, George, was that postseason series against Philadelphia. He went 10 for 17, and he looked a whole lot like a 3-hole hitter from that point forward.
Well, he grew up as a kid. I mean, you looked at him, and he 190. Now all of a sudden he's 220. He's big. He's stronger. Started hitting the ball over the wall a lot.
Back in the day, George, in these multi-purpose stadiums, there were some hitting cages underneath, but sometimes you didn't have the availability.
No, you had a net and a tee.
Yeah, to do the things they do today.
That was in a storage unit too, by the way, behind the dugout. It was usually a net with a tee, and it was behind where the grounds crew would keep the rakes and stuff. You got to go in there and hit a little bit.
Yeah, Gary Carson, who throws BP during the games and has for several years for the Rockies. I mean, he just flat wore out at the end of the year. But on a homestand, Garrett is up there, and the Rockies have 2 hitting tunnels, literally, just half a flight up from the dugout. And I mean, he's throwing guys BP throughout the game, not just extras, but sometimes guys will want work during the game.
Go up and take a couple of swings in between at bats, try to get it figured out. Charlie will strike out here on a 94-mile-an-hour cutter.
And 7 strikeouts for J. Happ.
Tell you what, that's pretty nasty. This ball's coming right at you. Could have been called low. It was in the bottom half of the strike zone.
Adames 0 for 2, strikeout and a fly ball to right.
Used to talk to Todd Helton about in between at bats. In other words, go up and maybe take a couple of cuts. And I always tried to relate that to a golfer. The ball's going to drop for a base hit for Adames. A 1-out knock. And a golfer will hit a tee shot and he'll go, I got about a 1/4 inch on the toe and I pushed it a little bit because they could feel it so much. And Todd used to talk about that. I swing, my hands got just there. I was 1 tick too late getting to the zone. Different kinds of things, and a lot of times you go up and it's a triggering mechanism within the swing that causes that.
So Adames at first. Arenado 1 for 2. That RBI single we just showed you, and his 115th RBI. On the ground, good pickup by Ramirez, and they turned into a 5-4-3 double play. Good turn by Josh Harrison at second. So the Rockies done in the 5th. We move on to the 6th inning and remain 6-3 in favor of the Bucks. fan, and we'll try to get you into a game broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Josh Harrison will lead off the 6th inning. Harrison a single, a double, and a deep fly ball to left center. 2nd inning of work for Gonzalez Germain. He's done some nice things. It's coming up. Fastball inside. One and one. .325 average last 73 games for Harrison when healthy. Missed 38 with that thumb surgery we were talking about earlier in the ball game. Happened on July 5th. This guy, George, for me, he's like the nickelback in football. A lot of times the nickelback plays more snaps than, you know, many starters would, especially in today's NFL. So you don't have to start Josh Harrison, but he may play a lot and have a big impact on the outcome.
Well, the biggest thing about it for a manager that I love about this, I run him out second, move him over to third, put him in left, put him in right, pinch hitting, pinch running. I mean, there's so many things he can do that a lot of other clubs, it takes 2 or 3 guys to do that.
Yeah, that's a one roster spot.
Yeah, I mean, it just saves you so much.
It's the 5th walk issued by the Rockies tonight. 4 from Russin. And now Germain with the leadoff walk to Harrison. And Polanco coming up. Way inside. Time is called. Well, one thing that you'd like to see change, George, going forward with this Rockies pitching staff. They have issued the most walks in baseball, and they have the 3rd fewest strikeouts. That's not a great combination, obviously.
No, well, the walk's got to go down. Everybody knows that. They just walk too many people. And you've got to be able to throw the ball over the plate. It's very evident when you do throw strike one what you get out of the result.
Left center field and deep. Barnes hoping for a play, and he chases it down. That's a wonderful running catch by Barnes. Boy, he had to go a long way.
He does have to go a long ways because you're playing straight up defense. The flight of the ball allowed him to make the catch on this, and then the hustle throw back in. You can see him. I got it to let Charlie know. He tracked it all the way to the glove. Nice job by Brandon Barnes.
That'll bring up McCutchen. Walked in the first. Fly ball to left, fly ball to right since. And that's inside, ball 1. That's inside. 2 balls and a strike. McCutcheon sitting on 95 ribbies, his career high 96. That was set in 2012. 12 RBIs in his last 16 road games. Pirates had lost 4 in a row after their defeat Friday night in LA. Now they've won 3 straight. And if they win tonight, they match their season high of being 31 games over 500, 90 and 60.
Germain in his last 9 and 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 1 run, ERA of 0.93. He's throwing the ball well. Another one of those guys that picked up off the waiver wires. You hope you hit lightning in a bottle and a change of scenery, change of uniform, and a different voice. Neil Walker in the on-deck circle, pinch hit for Happ. Not true. He's going to pinch hit for. Who's he pinch hitting for? Why is he out there, Ramirez?
Yeah. Guess he walked again.
Yeah. I guess that means that Harrison's going to go over to. He will head on over to third base, and Walker will go to second. Just thinking ahead with Clint.
9 walks last 3 games for McCutcheon. 2 on for Neil Walker, pinch hitting for Aramis Ramirez. Here's our Lowe's never stop improving stat. DJ LeMahieu, range factor among second basemen actually in the big leagues. He gets to more balls than anybody else. And you have the opportunity, like we all do, to watch him every day. You get that. I mean, I don't think there's anybody going to his left that's better than DJ. That sliding play out on the outfield grass. He's got a shortstop's arm. Got a couple guys leading in range factor in that infield. Nolan, of course, does also among third basemen.
Walker has been hot, 8 for his last 20.
Harrison at second, McCutcheon at first, line right to Brandon Barnes, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Starling Marte. 4 hits last night. It's 2 hits tonight, 2 RBIs, including a double in the first. The reason Aramis Ramirez was pulled, evidently, some tightness in the groin area, so I'm going to get him out and off his feet.
One of them was when he dove for that ball to turn a double play. Big stride, jump, catch, and it snapped it.
Yeah, perhaps.
It's a guy they can't lose out of the rotation. Dave Joust, one of the sounding boards for Clint in the dugout. He does a lot of the analytical transforming to the coaches, to the players, and to Clint. He handles a lot of that. A lot of the scouting reports. Dave's been with a number of ball clubs. Been with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And been with Clint the last couple of years.
It's kind of old home week for Clint. He has so many friends in this area.
A lot of hugs.
Yeah, a lot of hugs. I kidded him. I said, all the Highlands Ranch came come out, and he said, yeah. Carla and Bride is with him as well. Kids are in school. They're back in Pittsburgh area. 2-1 inside, and it's 3-1. Germain was real sharp in the 5th inning, but 2 walks here in the 6th. And he's behind Marte, 3-1 with 2 aboard. 6-3 Pirates.
I got a word from the truck that Ramirez, when he ran that triple, was a little uncomfortable coming into third.
And that's another walk. Now they're loaded up for Cervelli.
And Scott Oberg's been warming up down the bullpen for the Rockies. See if Walt pulls the trigger and goes and gets him, for the simple fact that German has had 35 pitches. He made the one start here, but it was a short start. And Walt's going to make that switch and go down and get the right-hander Oberg.
So German will depart with the bases loaded in his second inning of work. They're 2 outs. 6-3 Pirates. Starting at 1 in the afternoon from Mountain West Showdown. It's the Wyoming Cowboys at home against the New Mexico Lobos. Again, we're on the air at 1 o'clock in the afternoon from War Memorial Stadium in Laramie.
I'm going to hear all about it tomorrow morning, because Ringlesy and I are going to the Waffle House. So I'll hear all about it tomorrow morning up in Longmont.
Been a tough year so far for the Pokes. They played better. They played a lot better up in Pullman, though, against Washington State.
Yes, they did.
Scott Oberg trying to get that final out of the 6th inning. The bases are loaded. Harrison walked. He's at third. McCutchen walked. He's at second. Marte walked. He is at first. And Francisco Cervelli, 1 for 3, a single in the third, and a run scored, is at the plate. And this should get it done. Adames runs to the bag. 1 pitch, and the Rockies are off the diamond. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 6-3 Pittsburgh. Texas dealer. The Pirates scored every inning till last inning, and they left the bases loaded. Josh Harrison's been in the middle of things. And here's Gregory Polanco with an RBI single to bring home Harrison. The Rockies got their first run on Walin Rosario opposite field shot, the 6th of the year. Nolan Arenado has a RBI single. Aramis Ramirez an RBI triple in the 4th, and he would later score. But he had to leave the game shortly after as he strained his groin. You can see him grabbing the left leg there. That's our Cooney Lexus look back. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout, bottom of the 6th inning. Jay Happ continues on. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Rockies. Cargo, Rosario, LeMahieu. Walker's in at second. Harrison, the versatile one, flips over to third. Cargo stayed off that. Cargo, his last at bat, got a 2-0 pitch and hit a bullet of a 1-hopper, but it was right at the shortstop, Mercer. And this is fouled off and out of play.
Saved the umpire that time.
Yeah,
Brian Knight's going to be happy. If you just joined us, one got by Cervelli and caught the jaw of home plate umpire. That time he gave the body up and held it. That was not going to be caught.
Got Cervelli.
He does the old style mask. Calf skin inside, extra padding. A lot of comfort on that mask.
Two and two. Set up away. Hamp's had a good fastball, good finish on it.
Well,
tonight.
the thing I've kind of noticed, he's gone away from that slider. You know, got hit a little bit in that one inning. The Rockies were able to stick some runs on the board. Now all of a sudden it's been fastball cutter. Not so much that big hard slider that he throws. They'll probably make a liar out of it, throw it to it right here. But
yeah, there it is, and that just foul.
Hung it too. Hung it right in the middle of the plate. Gonzalez, his last at bat. I don't know if he hit a ball any harder at shortstop. Jordy Mercer picked that like it was picking candy.
Don't you love when you'll see one of those, and Mercer obviously came up with it, but you'll see one of those and, you know, flies over the shoulder of the infielder, and the coach will yell out, get in front of it. I feel like yelling back, you get in front of it.
Yeah, you come on out here and get in front of it. Another baseball story. Frank Howard, PFPs. Did everybody wear
pitcher, some people don't know. Pitcher fielding practice.
Standing on the mound, he said, did everybody wear your protection today? And I was like, this isn't going to be good. 6-7. He's hitting them one-handed. 5 groundouts, 3 flyouts, 7 strikeouts for Happ so far in this ballgame.
Strike 3 at the knees. Cargo didn't like it. It looked low.
And it was off the plate. I think that's Cargo had fought off a number of pitches on that outside part of the plate. This seemed to be low, and it seemed to be off of the plate. One of those unhittable pitches, if where you are. Cargo had a little bit of nothing to say to him, and then he walked away, said something else. The ball's outside, takes the mask off, tells him, he warns him, and then Walt's going to come out.
You know what? And you don't generally see, at least outwardly, you know it burns them up inside, but that kind of anger demonstrated. And you know what? You're reminded it's game 151. Rockies are down. They got beat up last night. It's been another rough year.
And he hit a one-hop line drive that just got caught. Well, when you get in a little bit of a funk, you're not swinging the bat well, those smiles can go to frowns really quick.
Williams had a good night. Home run and a single, both to the right side. Eight strikeouts for Jay Happ. Or if you give a pitcher that kind of strike that you saw a moment ago, you're not going to have a lot of hits.
Hey, you want to come celebrate the halfway to Patty's Day or halfway to Christmas? Which one do you want?
St. Patty's.
Let's do St. Patty's. That's right. The day on the rooftop this Saturday. It's halfway to St. Patty's Day. Purchase special tickets, packages, and the first 500 people to visit the rooftop check-in table will receive a free pair of St. Patty's Day sunglasses, as you see there on the screen. Visit Rockies.com/Irish to purchase tickets for this weekend. Halfway to St. Patty's Day House.
First walk allowed by Jay Happ. It'll be the last walk he allows because he's gone after 5 1/3. 1 out. Rosario at first base.
Slow down, man. Hey, slow down. You're at Coors Field. Slow down.
He's excited.
Yeah.
Wants to get there before Clint changes his mind.
Well,
how you feel now? John's promo code's RocksWin at papajohns.com. Jared Hughes sprinting in. This is not always a good idea. Do you remember when Todd Coffey sprinted in with the Reds years ago?
The one I really remember was Waller's. He came flying out of that bullpen. Now watch this. He's going to come to the mound and go, hey, I made it. Yeah, I'm good to go. Now it's like, man, did I just do that really at Coors Field? I can't breathe. Can we have a little bit of break here? But Waller's came into the game. He got to the mound, and the trainer went out there to check him. And he gave him a paper bag. He was hyperventilating. He couldn't finish. And it was like, bam, bam, bam. Bobby Cox couldn't get him out quick enough.
There was a guy. He did the same thing, George. It wasn't Coffey. It wasn't Waller. Somebody else came sprinting in. And he couldn't go. He came sprinting in and walking off. DJ grabs into a 4-6-3. That ends the inning. One pitch for Hughes. Running again. Running to the dugout. A little slower this time. Pirates up 6-3.
Pirates lead it 6-3 over the Rockies. Want to do a little this day in Major League Baseball. I want to go way back, like 104 years, all the way back to 1911. On this day, Cy Young, his final victory in the big leagues. And he did it at Forbes Field. He was pitching for the Boston Rustlers, a 1-0 complete game shutout over the Pirates. 22-year career, you know the numbers, and that was his final win. Hour 35 game time, 1,208 fans were there on a afternoon in 1911. The great Cy Young, guys.
Oh!
I was coming this way.
Yeah, well, you didn't have time to react, trust me.
So Cy Young wins 511, as anybody who's followed baseball is aware of. Number 2 on the list is 94 short of 511. 815 starts, 749 complete games. And Morse gets hit by Oberg.
Running fastball just got off to the side of it, creates a lot more movement. Going to take it kind of a flare shot off of the hip, and he'll be gone. Broxton, who was called up yesterday, will pinch run for him.
Keon Broxton, who made his Major League debut yesterday, pinch running, gets to pinch run again as Morse comes out. Sean Rodriguez going to take over at first next inning, I'm sure. Jordy Mercer at the plate. Mark was talking about, I love some of these old guys. Cy Young. George, Dougie did a little homework on Cy Young. Ready?
Yep.
In his career, I told you, 815 starts, 749 complete games.
Right.
I don't know what the heck he was doing the 8% of his games that he didn't complete.
He didn't show up.
Evidently had a rough night the night before. So he gave up 2,147 earned runs in his career. The defense must have been a little different back then, because he also gave up 1,020 unearned runs.
Jeez.
Huh?
Crazy.
They didn't groom. You know, they didn't have Raz around to groom the fields nice.
No, some fields were a little rough. Travel was a little rough.
Was reported differently back then, or you know, the riders would get on the train with the players.
Well, they were doing that when I was playing. They flew. They flew on the airplanes with us. They stayed in our same hotels.
So they knew what to report and what not to report back then.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they would be. You'd have the managers and coaches, and then front office people, and you'd have the riders, and then the players would be in the back. The riders traveled with us. You know, the main beat guys. I mean, in New York, if you ask every rider, you'd have 100. So it was the main beat guys flew on the airplane with us. That's where Latch and Tracy Ringlesby became friends. They were roommates in Seattle.
Runner going, and Broxton is out. Good catch. Broxton claiming he was safe, and he's been in the big leagues for 18 hours, and he's waving at his skipper saying, "Skip, I was safe. Check it out."
Yeah, they want to look at it.
That didn't take long.
No.
It's pretty emphatic. Let's see if the tag's applied.
No, it was not.
And that's why, yeah. Well, it's time for a Subaru review. Whether you're on the road or at the game, everybody could use a second set of eyes. You have to see the other angle. Did he get any of that shirt? Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure, George, because let's see if the tip of the glove, did it get the uni?
Well, to me, that's not inclusive.
He's out.
Wow. Good. I'm glad he is.
Yeah.
Even drew a wow from playing.
Oakberg with a breaking ball for a strike.
And upset the Pittsburgh fans here, and they're booing the umpire crew here. It's just, I hope they're thinking that maybe they're going to be heard in New York. They're the ones that made the decision.
Ground ball, just foul.
DJ sitting out talking with Ron Culpa at second base after that call. Arrieta won his 20th. Miller brothers are up down in the Rockies bullpen. Pedro Alvarez has been put out in the on-deck circle.
Arrieta shutout baseball, 4-0 win. That's going to be one real close vote for the National League Cy Young. I mean, you know, some days you think it's got to be Greinke.
18-3 with an earned run average of 1.9.
I understand that, and George, you can't make a bad choice because there's still another, 12 days of the baseball season. If Arrieta throws out, 22 wins with a, he has a tiny ERA also. I agree with you, but I'm saying there's going to be a large contingent of folks that vote for Arrieta. Last 17, there's a strikeout of Mercer. Last 17 games, Jake Arrieta is 13-1 with a 1.01 ERA. That's 17 games. That's more than half a season. Pedro Alvarez pinch hitting here.
You just wonder if the number of pitches thrown. I mean, it's great the Cubs are winning. They have a strong bullpen. He gave up 3 hits, struck out 11, walked 1 through 123 pitches tonight. Last guy to win 20. Here's a name. There's a Cub. Was John Lee, 2001.
It's a name we haven't mentioned in a while. 2-1 on Pedro Alvarez. Took one recruiting trip. He was courted by a number of schools, Stanford, Notre Dame. He's a good student. Took one trip because he was playing for the Bayside Yankees, which is a really good amateur team, summer and fall ball, and growing up. And he only had time to get out to see Vanderbilt, and that's where he signed. He's an economics major at Vandy. They've become one of the elite baseball programs in the country, and that is a base hit.
First 10,000 through the gates, and this Saturday is going to receive a Colorado Rockies baseball hat courtesy of United Launch Alliance. Get your tickets now to that ball game versus the Dodgers when they're in town. There's the hat right there. It's on your screen, and it's also in my hands. I started to put it on my head, but I couldn't do it quick enough.
I can do this.
You put that on your head?
Yeah.
You're going to make a lot of noise when you do that, just so you know. There you go.
Fashion the hats. I like this one.
See, well, you'll run on that one.
You know me. I will.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah. See, I don't have as much hair as I used to, George. I don't know if you've noticed. So when I do go out and run, if I'm going to be out in the sun, I put a hat on.
Well, you should.
Smart.
Put a hat on. Yes,
you don't
are.
have to.
Very smart.
You got a full crop of hair.
Well, I'm not going to be running in the sun, though.
I might
be mowing.
I tell people all the time, the last time you ran is when you jogged off the field in the '87 World Series.
And you are correct with that.
Yeah. You due for another jog.
I had my physical. Everything was good. Hey, eggs and bacon, here I come. Wake up, Sams. Stay open late.
Josh Harrison, a comebacker, and Oberg will jog it over to first. Rosario has it, and that's the inning. There was a hit batter and a single. One man left. Middle of 7. Stretch time at Coors Field. 6-3 Pirates. Six-3 Pittsburgh. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, bottom third of the order for the Rockies. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout tonight from Coors Field. Game 2 of this 4-game set with the Pirates. Middle series of a 10-game homestand. Final appearance for the Rockies at Coors Field in 2015. They'll finish the season playing a 3-game set in Arizona and a 3-game set in San Francisco. Saw him last night. Antonio Bastardo, the former Philly, moves on here. Dustin Garneau will lead things off for the Rockies. Sean Rodriguez takes over at first base. Dustin tonight a strikeout and a fly ball to right field. Garneau wastes his pitch. 1-2. Angels leading Houston Houston 4-3 in the 9th inning down at Minute Maid. Oakland now has a 4-1 lead on Texas in the 4th inning. That thing may go down to the last day of the season.
Well, I'm sure it's going to. It's going to be very close. They've got to play again against the Rangers. I think the last 3 games of the season, maybe. No, Houston's got to go to Arizona. Last 3 games of the season. Last weekend they play in Arizona.
Here is that American League West.
But I do believe they have to come to Houston. The Rangers do. Before it's all over.
Yeah, they do have 3 more with Texas.
What did Minnesota do tonight? Well, they're a winner 3-1. They're in the middle of that wild card mess.
Forgetting about them. Yankees countered. They beat Toronto tonight 6-4. So in the American League East, it's now a 2.5 game separation.
The Twins just 2.5 back. Angels 3.5. Indians quietly jumped, kind of got back into that's a mess, but they're 5 back.
That old line, George, but you hit September 1st, and obviously we're at September 22nd, and you're 500. You're going to be in.
Don't know what'll happen.
You have a chance.
23,433 in the ballpark tonight.
Two on Garneau. Boone Logan and Justin Miller. Now for the Rockies.
A little flip of the dirt on the backside of Garneau's foot to think him moving inside. They went away. Yeah, the old catcher move. Throw a little dirt on the guy's foot. Just make him think you're rocking inside. Noah has stepped out in the on deck circle. Switch hitter.
Barnes swings and misses. Brandon behind 0-2. Off the plate, 1-2. Good pitch by Bastardo.
On the road again, traveling, and want to watch your Rockies? Subscribe to MLB.TV Premium for live or on demand for over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. MLB.TV.
1-0 on Eno, and it's 1-1 on Raphael.
Plate umpire Brian Knight's a little jumpy. Dinger's talking to toothpaste. See how you can win this thing coming up in the next inning. I'm telling you. All right.
The one thing I've always noticed about Dinger, I love Dinger, but his facial expression never changes. You ever notice it?
No. Well, he can't talk. He's a dinosaur.
Oh.
Just figuring that part out.
2-2. That's pop foul out of play. Check swing. Bastardo to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Bastardo in the 7th. We'll go to the 8th inning. 6-3. Locked in on that score since the 5th. Mobile. Go, car, go. Get it? I like that. Thanks, Judy. Hey, we just had the toothbrush race. Here's the very end of it. Toothpaste wins. And then we had a bad mishap. We had a 2-toothbrush pileup or something like that. We had a cavity. They hit a cavity. What do you think, Doug? Does that work? That's the best we could. That's the best we could do. Okay, we'll go to the 8th inning. New pitchers Boone Logan for the Rockies. 56th appearance this year for Boone. He's the 4th pitcher used tonight. Tough night for Chris Russet. Didn't have his good stuff, good location. 4 innings, 6 runs, 8 hits, walked 4. Not like Chris. So Logan will face Gregory Polanco here in the top of the 8th inning. 1 for 3 and a walk. RBI single in the second for Polanco. And he didn't like that slider much, did he? Oh, and 2. Didn't like that one anymore. McCutcheon's on deck. Rocky's still in this game. Doesn't really feel that way because, you know, Pittsburgh's led the whole way. But it's just a 3-run game. Nolan's the only one on that left side. Polanco could fly. Good play by Nolan. Rarely does a day go by that I don't put in my book a 5-3 with a little star above it to indicate a far better than average play. Great arm, accurate arm from numerous arm angles. Boone Logan got the lefty Polanco, and we'll step aside again. 1 out in the 8th. With Pirates, and Christian Bergman, so versatile, he's going to be forced to make a start. Jorge De La Rosa had to be pushed back, and it'll be the second start of the year for Christian. We're on the air tomorrow at 6 p.m. with the pregame show. Justin Miller with 1 out, nobody on in the 8th inning to face Andrew McCutchen.
28th appearance for Mr. Miller in September the 7th at San Diego. He became the first Rockies reliever ever to fan all 4 batters in a relief appearance. Fanned 8 consecutive from September the 7th through the 11th. And as Drew mentioned, he'll get Andrew McCutchen here in the 8th with 1 out, nobody on, and a Rockies trail 6-3.
Sliders fouled back by McCutchen. You know who's going to join us, Frage, on Thursday during the ball game?
Who?
Looking forward to it.
Who?
He's got great insight on the game.
Who?
Michael McHenry's on the 60-day DL.
Oh, yeah?
Former Pirate, former
It'll be
good
nice. He's going to come up in the booth and sit with us?
He's sitting right here. We're going to get cozy. He's going to be right here with us.
That'd be great.
Just a little insight on the Pirates. He talks to McCutchen several times a week. Talk hitting all the time. Help each other out from afar. 0-2. And it's right back at Miller. Nice play by Justin. 2 outs.
All about reaction, but the key in a pitcher making a play like this is squaring yourself right back up. That's exactly what he does here. Able to field the baseball and make the play over first base.
Neil Walker drives one foul. Fouls one off the other direction. Neil lined out to left his first time up. Came to the ball game for Ramirez. He couldn't continue with the strain in the groin area after legging out his first triple of the year.
We'll find out how many triples he's had in his career, Dougie. He's going to let you know here in just a minute.
Not as many as Willie Wilson. And more than Boog Powell.
79.
79 triples?
Just kidding.
No
24.
way.
He had 24.
Almost fell out of my chair. So I said less than Willie Wilson, right? And I said more than Boog Powell.
You did say all those things.
Do you think Boog Powell had 10 triples in his career?
Probably didn't want 10 triples in his career.
Oh, George.
He had 11.
He had 11. Did you see that? 1-2 on Walker. Eddie Miller strikes him out. Pitched well here in the month of September. Justin walks off. Rockies got to get it going. They have 6 outs to work with on offense. Down by 3. By Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Saratoga Casino, so new, so you. It is game 2 of this 4-game set between the Rockies and Pirates. I've never seen that particular shot of Ilitch's before. That's neat.
That was from up in the sky. looking down at it.
Well, really?
Just letting you know.
Thank you.
I know you probably didn't figure
If
that
it was
out.
an underground shot looking up.
It's kind of like in 2005, you asked me where the rain was coming from, and I said the sky. That's where it usually comes from.
Well, you know what? You were right on both accounts. Joaquin Soria, we saw him last night, one of the setup men for the Pirates. And that's inside 1-0 on Charlie. Charlie had an RBI single, stole a base, and scored in the 3rd inning, his 41st stolen base. He's 1 for 3 tonight. And that's just foul. Jairo Diaz getting the arm loose. Two balls, 2 strikes on Blackman.
Yeah, pretty good. It's a nice little cushion to have a guy with the number of saves like Soria had throughout his career to go out and set guys up.
Charlie pulls his hands in and drives a base hit to right. 2 for 4 tonight. And a good start to the 8th inning. Christian Adames will be next.
Trying to get the head out on a good sinker down and in. Soria really missed. Full length of the plate, 18 inches. The ball ends up in the inner half. Charlie able to turn on that 90+ mile-an-hour fastball, dumping out into right field. Down 3, you got to get it started. This is the inning. Top of the order in the RBI men. 202 career saves for Soria.
Adames with Nolan Arenado on deck.
Yesterday, Soria came in the ball game. He gave up a couple of hits and he worked out of the inning for Clint Hurdle. He pitched the 7th inning yesterday, did a couple of hits and a strikeout. The hits came in with Gonzalez, and Justin Morneau is not in the lineup tonight.
That's foul. Strike 3 on Adames, 1 out. Bring up Arenado. Nolan 1 for 3 in RBI single in the 3rd. 115 ribbies for Nolan.
Drew mentioned earlier, Washington has lost the San Diego-San Francisco games in the 5th at 0-0.
Come on, Nolan.
0-1 count on Arenado with Blackman at first. Snap throw over. Charlie gets back.
Come on, Carver, you're gonna hit a big man. Good man.
Yeah, setting up away. They go away, and Nolan able to fight it off. Well, ahead in the count here. Soria typically used to go to the breaking ball or split in the dirt when he'd get in this 0-2 count. They had some success yesterday against Nolan by riding the fastball up and out of the zone. It's a dangerous spot to go to typically with Nolan. They're asking for it again. Elevated fastball. Cervelli wants it up, wants it in.
He fouls off the 0-2.
Tried to get him chased. A little more on the plate he may have. Nolan able to hold things off in a 1-2 count. So as a hitter, you're going back into the plate thinking, all right, they got me 0-2. They elevated the fastball. And then on a 1-2 count, on an 0-2 count after I fouled that off, I went hard slider, breaking ball away and didn't connect. And they elevate the fastball again. They went breaking ball and they get the strikeout. It's been an 80-mile-an-hour slider.
Been a tough pitch for Nolan. 2 outs.
More look at this hard slider. Great location. Looks like fastball outside corner, and it's carried it off the end of the plate. And a 1-2 down count. Trying to protect to get a little emergency hack working. Gonzalez history with Soria just 1 for 2, not many. Soria spent a lot of time in the American League.
Swung on and missed. 0-1. Cargo 0 for 3. Sitting on 90 RBIs.
Wade Davis been named the Royals closer for the rest of the regular season and the postseason.
You got some guys to choose from. Cargo drives his ball foul down the left field line.
And everything's ran so smooth for so long for the Royals ball club. Now all of a sudden they started to hit a couple of hiccups here. Guys had not thrown the ball as well. They still have an 11-game lead. Don't get me wrong. They're 87 and 62, but 48 and 27 at home. Played well on the road. Dominated the Central and the West. Let's see if they try to get him to chase or elevate a fastball. Appears to elevate. They do, and they get him out. 3 strikeouts for Soria after the leadoff single by Charlie Blackman to finish up the 8th inning.
So we go to the 9th, 6-3.
have the Toyota post-game show. Rockies got off to a slow start again tonight. What are they missing against the Pittsburgh Pirates? We'll discuss that. Plus, the Pirates are doing a little scoreboard watching. They're waiting to clinch for the postseason. We will update you on their status. It's coming up right after baseball. Drew and George, we'll send it back to you.
Jenny, thank you very much. In the top of the 9th inning, it'll be High Road Diaz on for the 15th time. Starling Marte will be first up for the Pirates. 6-3, Pittsburgh leading, and it's been that way since the 5th inning. The Pirates, if you're just joining us, scored in every inning of the first 5 innings of this game, first 4 innings of this game, before the Rockies finally were able to put a stop to things. Diaz has displayed a strong arm. He's got 10 strikeouts in 12 1/3. Lefties have really struggled. Righties not a whole lot better. Marte tonight 2 for 3 and a walk. He's been on base 7 times in this series already.
Rockies bullpen tonight has thrown 4 innings, given up 1 hit. They've walked 3, struck out 3. That's why this ball game is staying close. And San Francisco, San Diego score knotted at 0 after in the 5th inning. Mentioned in the previous inning, Baltimore beat Washington 4-1.
Rockies have been out hit 9-8 in this one. Gave up 15 hits yesterday.
Heston started for the San Francisco Giants. 4 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts so far. Tyson Ross 4 1/3, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts in the game so far.
Gloved foul. Two balls, 2 strikes on Starling Marte. Driven in 2 tonight. He's got 75 RBIs on the season.
Melanson, the right-hander, warming up for the Pirates, as you would expect in a save situation.
He's 2 saves away from 50. At a Golden, Colorado. Ball's in the air to Charlie in right center. Here comes the catcher, Francisco Cervelli. Single for Cervelli, his 2nd hit of the night. Jay Happ's on the plus side this evening. Chris Russin is not. And with one out, that'll bring up Sean Rodriguez.
Well, the thing about it, that last fastball 97, if you don't locate, and it's pretty straight and true, these hitters are going to turn it around. They're going to hit the ball hard. And that's where the location becomes even more important instead of just rear back and fire. You get by with that in Double-A, and you get it by in some Triple-A ballparks. At this level, you don't.
First at bat for the fill-in first baseman, Sean Rodriguez. He bounces this one foul.
Yeah, he's a defensive specialist. Swings the bat okay. But a defensive specialist for come in and play the backside of the position. You like having Alvarez's bat in the lineup, but when you get to that 7th, 8th inning, typically the 8th inning, when you make that switch out defensively.
Rodriguez, 30-year-old native of Miami. Number of years with Tampa. Came up with the Angels in 08. And this one to DJ. There's the flip to Adonis on the first, and not handled by Willeen. It was a low throw.
I work on this all the time, trying to get picks out of the dirt. Kind of prevent the inning. Low throw snapped right out in front of Willeen. Looked like it was low. It popped right out of the end of the glove.
Here's Jordy Mercer. This ball off of Nolan. He knocked it down.
Yeah,
hopefully
he's
all
hurt
right.
though. Boy, I tell you what, he caught that. It hit the bare skins what it caught. I don't think it caught any glove at all.
He may have hit the ground hard, George.
I think he hit his head hard. Is what he hit. Let's look at it again.
This is a heck of a stop.
Oh yeah, hard line drive. See him make many of these, and then watch right here. Ooh, that's pretty uncomfortable.
That is a face plant.
Kind of one of those, you feel okay right now, you're thinking about staying inside, I'm okay in the game, and then you wake up in the morning, you're pretty sore. And Doogie's not going to let it continue.
And that's the wise thing to do.
Sure it is.
So Nolan will walk off. Now, Inoa was used already.
Well, you got Descalso.
Yeah, you got Descalso left as an infielder, so Daniel will come out.
No two ways about it, that hurt.
It's still a great play. Just a phenomenal play. Nolan will get inside. Once he shakes it off, he'll be mad he didn't get full leather on it and throw him out.
Travis Ishikawa will pinch hit in the pitcher spot for Soria, who's pitched 1 inning, gave up a hit, and struck out 3. Ishikawa was the hero for the San Francisco Giants in the World Series after bouncing around numerous places, getting back up there. He'll ground out. DJ will make the throw to first. That'll be ended up here in the top of the ninth.
And postseason been following Ishikawa around, huh? So we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. 6-3 Pittsburgh. @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies Taco Special when the Rockies score 7 or more in any ball game. Bottom of the ninth inning, and out of Golden, Colorado, Mark Melanson, who has had a special season for the Pirates. He has saved 48 ball games. It's a new team record. Looks like Georgie's destined to save more than 50 this year. That puts him in rarefied air.
I would think it would be. And again, this is a guy that's been steady all the way through this. And again, he's going to be a guy that's going to solidify everything for them down in their bullpen. He's going to close it every time when he's got a lead in that situation. Batting average against 206. Is that any good? Struck out 52 and 70 in 2/3 inning, and earned run average of 1.91. He has blown 2 saves all year.
Who are lefties are hitting against him? You kidding me?
He takes care of business. That's what you want with a closer. He doesn't necessarily have the closer look with the long hair, the beard, the mean grizzly guy. But boy, the arm sure has a look and finishes him up strong. He's a strike thrower. 14 walks in 70 in 2/3 inning.
So here's Rosario, 2 for 2 and a walk, a home run and a single for Willeen tonight. And he fouls off the first pitch. Well, when Melanson and the Pirates landed here in from Los Angeles, he tweeted out, "Home sweet home." Melanson's going to join a very exclusive group when he hits 50 saves. And he's sitting on 48. But 14 occurrences of guys saving 50 in a season. This is a ground ball to short. 1 out. The last guy to do it, the guy we just saw. 2 guys we just saw, Jim Johnson, who's now a setup guy, and Craig Kimbrell in 2013. The record, of course, K-Rod. Frankie Rodriguez in 2008 with the Angels saved 62. Jim Johnson's done it twice. Eric Gagne did it twice, and Mariano Rivera did it twice.
Yeah, it just emphasizes a lot what Mariano did. Guys that sustain that over their career. There's so many guys that come up, they're closers for 2 or 3 years. They're pretty good. They have a bad couple, they can't recover. Jim Johnson is one example of that. Working as a setup man for the Dodgers now. That it's difficult to pitch that 9th inning an awful lot and to finish games off and be consistent doing it.
Strikes on LeMahieu. DJ goes down swinging, and there's 2 gone. Rockies tonight have struck out 13 times. Happ struck out 8, 5 2/3. Too many empty at bats, especially for being at home. Corey Dickerson's going to pinch hit here for Garneau. Strike on Corey.
Cervelli wanted it. Morneau waits in the on deck circle to hit for Barnes.
Two and one on Dickerson. And a fly ball to right that's going to end it. Polanco makes the catch. The Pirates have won the first 2 of this 4-game series. Tonight they prevail 6-3. Jay Happ, since coming from Seattle, improves now to 6-2 with the Pirates. Chris Russin takes the loss. He's 5-9. And for Mark Melancon out of Golden, Colorado, that is save number 49. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game, the work of the left-hander, the former Philly, Jay Happ. He had a decent slider, and he had a lot of life on his fastball tonight. Again, he goes 5 2/3, 3 runs, 7 hits. He struck out 8 Rockies. Again, the final score: the Rockies fall tonight to the Pirates 6-3. The Pirates now 91-60. The Rockies fall to 63-88 in center field. We go. Jenny, all yours.
All right, Drew, thanks so much. The Pirates took care of their business. They're now scoreboard watching. We will update you on the Giants game coming up.
Yeah, rough night for Chris Russin. Some professional at-bats put together by the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight.
And that accounted for 6 2-out hits for the Pirates.
We'll also get you inside the clubhouse. It's coming up in the Toyota postgame show.